All right, we're going to be talking about when and how to put pressure on your ex to commit. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life, and in this video we're going to be talking about how and when to put pressure on your ex to commit. So first of all, I want to get clear that, we don't want to put pressure on when the emotional connection isn't at the right place. What we want to do is we want to build up the emotional connection layer by layer first until we actually have a good strong bond, and then leverage that connection because they're much more likely to say yes if they can acknowledge, hey, we're actually connecting pretty well, we get along really well and all that stuff. Obviously, you don't want to do this if you just had some huge fight about something trivial or something like that, or if they're not talking to you or something along those lines. We want to build up that emotional connection first and foremost because they're going to be much more likely to say yes and to actually move things forward when it comes to making some sort of commitment, whether that's a commitment for meeting up, whether it's a commitment for getting back together, whether that's a commitment for going on an official date, whether that is, any other form of commitment, right? There's different kinds of commitment. The most important thing is that it's moving you past the comfort zone that you're currently at. So if the two of you are just talking, maybe meeting up in person could be a huge move forward and a good step towards commitment. I don't want you to think of commitment as just like the act of the two of you getting back together, although that obviously is a form of commitment. What we want to do at each step of the way is to recognize that there are certain mileposts along the way that are going to take you from where you are right now towards, maybe getting back together. And again, I don't know exactly where you're at. Maybe it's like, okay, we just need to go from we're not talking to we are now talking again. Or maybe we need to go from we're talking again to we're talking in a deep, emotionally connected sort of way. Or maybe we need to go from we're talking in a deep, emotionally connected sort of way towards we're meeting up in person. Or we're meeting up in person to we're meeting up in person on a regular basis. Or we're meeting up in person on a regular basis to, okay, we're admitting that there's actual romantic tension here. Or then at that point, actual romantic tension towards actually committing and being in a relationship to one another. That's just one example. Of course, rebound relationships, long distance, arguments, all sorts of past history between one another could add extra layers and extra considerations into this. But basically just say, okay, where am I at? Where do I want to go? What is the line of events that has to happen to get us between that point A and point B? What would be the next logical thing for us to do? If it's, okay, we're talking, but we want to actually meet up, what we want to do is we want to say, okay, what can we do to take that step from just talking to meeting up? How can we actually make that happen? So first we want to build up the emotional connection so that we're talking, and maybe it's going pretty well. And then once that emotional connection seems to it's hitting a nice height area, then we can go ahead and we can just say something along the lines of, hey, it seems like we're having a great time here talking today. I'm enjoying this. It seems like you're enjoying it too. Let's keep this going. I'd love to meet you in person. Get together in person. You're free and available, Saturday at 11 a.m. at this place. And then just take it from there. They're likely to say yes because you have built up the emotional connection to a high enough level to the point where it makes sense for them to say yes. Saying yes is the next logical step in your connection from where you're at. Now, obviously, you could just take a leap of faith. You could say, I don't know where they're at. I don't know how their day's been. I don't know if they're grumpy, sad, great, mood, whatever. I'm just going to ask them to meet up. You could do that, and they might say yes. They might also say no because they're not connected to you. Maybe they're mad at you that day for something that happened. Maybe they're just having a bad day in general. You could do that, but again, you're much more likely to be rejected if that happens. So what makes more sense is to build up the emotional connection first, and then just go in the next logical thing for the two of you to do. In this example, meet up in person. And if they seem hesitant to this idea, then what we want to do is we want to get curious, turn around and ask them so that they have the opportunity to actually say, hey, this is why I feel uncomfortable doing this. Maybe it has something to do with you. Maybe it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Maybe they're just busy that week. Maybe they're exhausted. Maybe they have family visiting from out of town. I don't know. But we want to get curious and ask them so that they can fill in the gap rather than us having to fill in the gap ourselves by asking hey, why don't they want to meet up? Is it because they don't love us anymore? Is it because they're moving on? Is it because they're falling in love with someone else? Is it because they're trying to let me down easy? Is it because they don't feel anything? You have this voice in your head that we call the BS machine because it's going to rush to fill in these gaps with many times your own fears, insecurities, anxieties, doubts, limitations, etc. So if we can not do that and instead allow our partner to say, yeah, I don't feel comfortable meeting up with you because of this, then we can actually address that. I want you to do this as opposed to filling in the blank, because sure, maybe your fear, insecurity, or anxiety is true and they don't want to meet up with you because they're falling in love with someone else. But at least if they say it, then you know that that's what's actually going on, and then you can address it appropriately. Whereas if you're just guessing, you might guess wrong. You might think that they're in a rebound relationship when actually they just feel too much romantic pressure between the two of you, and you have to deal with that instead. Get really clear. If you get any sort of resistance, turn around and ask them. That's a super powerful thing. And then, of course, what you can do if you are getting some clear resistance, you do know where it's coming from, and you need to get around it, using something such as one-way spikes, which is one of our techniques, can be truly helpful in navigating through this. Now, one-way spikes, this is a powerful technique that basically says, hey, okay, it seems like this is what you want. Is that what you want? If so, this is what the consequence might be. We go over this inside of our course called Effortless Connection. Effortless Connection is our communication course. It helps you to reconnect with your ex or your partner through developing high stakes communication skills to get through these challenging situations. If you want to learn more about Effortless Connection or sign up, head on over to modernlove.life/EC. That's modernlove.life. E as in effortless, C as in connection. You can also find a link for it down below in the description box. But this is our communication course that helps you to create a strong emotional connection through communication. It focuses on the three most important parts of a relationship, which are being on the same team, connection, and also trust building. So if it seems like a good fit for you, go ahead and check it out down below. Anyway, that is when you want to apply pressure and how to apply pressure on your ex. Take care.